All right, so today we're going to talk about headshots and we're going to talk about why they're important. We're going to talk about who's been calling about headshots, so maybe you're in a similar situation. We're going to talk about lighting, we're going to talk about what to wear, we're going to talk about posing, and we're also going to talk about how to prepare for a headshot. And my goal out of today is that if you don't have the funds or the time or the means to go to a professional for a headshot, I'm going to give you some tips so that you can do it yourself. And that's my goal for today. So if you listen to this or watch this and you come up with some really good ideas and you take your own, please post them in the comments. I would love to see that some of these posing ideas and lighting and all that worked for you. So I would love for you to share them with me. Unless you come to me, and then of course, we'll post them in here too. Okay, so I want to talk about first why people are doing headshots right now specifically. And actually, I had something else planned to talk about today, but I changed it because I've gotten so many calls about it. As you guys all know, with COVID, so many people were either laid off of work, they got furloughed, or maybe they spent 2 months at home and now they've decided, you know what? I really don't want to go back to that job. I hated it, and now that I'm away from it, I really don't want to go back. That's happened more times than I can count. So if you're looking for a new job, or you're looking to get promoted, or you're looking to do something different, or maybe you haven't had a headshot in 5 years, then this is a really good video for you to watch so that you can update your photos. All right, so first thing to talk about is headshots versus branding. We do branding here, and there's other photographers that will talk about personal branding or professional branding for you and your business. The difference is a headshot, you come in, you're already ready, you're dressed, you have your makeup and your hair done, and you sit in front of the camera for about 15 minutes. We get 10 to 20 different images. You pick your favorite two, and I send you those digitals and you're on your way. Those are really simple. They're very easy. It doesn't take much time. I show you the back of the camera. After the session, you come into the office. I show you all of the pictures on the screen. So you pick your two before you even leave. I edit them as soon as you leave, and you get them within the hour. Those are super easy. They're not complicated at all. For branding, it's a little bit different. Not that it's complicated, but it's more involved. So with those, we really plan out your shoot ahead of time. We're styling, we're talking about what clothes you're gonna wear, what backgrounds we want, what mood you want, what personality you're trying to portray in your images. And we really plan it out ahead of time. It's a whole process that we go through to get even prepared for your shoot. During the shoot, you can wear as many outfits as you want. I have a professional makeup artist and hairstylist that will get you all prepared. And some people get nervous, or I don't want to look too glam, or whatever. You get to pick how you want your makeup. We have a whole chart that shows different levels of makeup, and you pick how you want it to look. So, whatever you normally would wear, we want to make sure that it looks that way. The reason we use a professional makeup artist, one, she's going to make you look and feel amazing. And it's very therapeutic to sit there and get relaxed and, focus on what you're about to do while she's doing your makeup. It's really awesome. And the second thing is, sometimes makeup has reflective qualities, and I want to make sure that the makeup that's being used on your face does not have reflection in it, so that when the flashes fire or my strobes fire, it's not going to reflect back white and make you look like a ghost. So I highly recommend it. Even if you just do the headshots and you want to use a makeup artist, I can give you the name of the girl that does most of our shoots. And then if she's not available, I've got a couple others that I can refer you to as well. All right, so branding also, not just hair and makeup, it's the whole concept of what we're trying to portray. And then also you can pick as many pictures as you want. You get 2 with the original package, but then you have all these other ones to choose from too. So if you want content for a full year, we can make sure you have enough content for a full year. All right, so that's that. One other thing to consider is if you're doing branding or headshots, either one, they're both a tax write-off because you're using it for your business, for marketing. So keep that in mind if that's something that you, that interests you. It interests me, so. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about is lighting. I've talked about this in some other videos that I've done, but it's super critical that your lighting is on point. One of the best ways to get good lighting, and I've talked about this in other videos, is if you stand with a window right in front of you, right? So prop up your cell phone or whatever into the window, and you're standing facing the window, and that's the shot that you want to get. That flat lighting on your face will be just really beautiful. It fills in any wrinkles. It's really the best lighting that you can get. So I highly recommend that. Or if you have a ring light, you know, some people have gotten those recently. Or I used to sell these mirrors, these Ricky mirrors through Lime Life. So if you know any Lime Life representatives, you can get a Ricky mirror from them. And it actually has a thing that you can Bluetooth your phone and you sit it on the mirror. And that way when you're holding the mirror, you literally just hit the button on the actual mirror itself. So it makes it really easy. Donna, will you go grab that one? And I'll just show you guys what it looks like, because it's super easy to use, and it's worth the money. And it's a great mirror just by itself. All right, so lighting. The other thing I want to talk about is what to wear. You know, for headshots, you want to wear clothes that represent what your profession is or what you're trying to do. So like if you're looking for a job as HR or, you know, corporate position, then obviously you want to wear something that's more professional, like a suit. All right, so I'm going to pause for a second. But this is the Ricky mirror. So it comes with a little stand, so you can prop it up and take your pictures, or you can just hold it. So with here, you know, you've got the lights that you can go brighter and darker. Your cell phone literally fits right here in the little compartment, and you can Bluetooth it. So when you connect it to Bluetooth, you just hit this button and it snaps the picture. So it's really easy. You can get this from any of your Lime Life representatives. I think there's a bunch of them, so hopefully you know one and can get one. Okay, so back to what to wear. So just think about what profession you're in or what you're trying to go into, and that's the type of clothes that you should wear. So if it's a corporate position, obviously you need to wear a suit or something very professional. If it's a more relaxed type position, then you can wear something different. Things to avoid: busy patterns never photograph well. Really thin stripes don't do a good job either, so stay away from those. Colors are good, you know, black and white obviously is always good, gray, but don't be afraid to throw in some color, especially if you have a really bubbly personality and there's a color that looks really good on you that makes your eyes pop, then absolutely go for color. One of the things to think about with color, if you want your eyes to pop, is you want to use the opposite color on the color wheel. So if you have green eyes, red is the opposite of that. So red is really good for green-eyed people. So just look at a color wheel. You can just Google it. There's a gazillion images out there that will show you. And you want to wear a color that is opposite of your eye color on the color wheel. Okay. Oh, one other thing, sleeves. For headshots, you definitely want to have sleeves on. Sleeveless, no, it's just not going to cut it. So you definitely want to cover your arms. And the reason is your skin is going to be lighter probably than what you're wearing. And so your eye is drawn to the lightest part of the image, and you don't want your eye to be drawn to your arms. So let your face be the lightest part and do your photos that way. Okay, so we've talked about what to wear. Now let's talk about posing. Whenever I do headshots, there's a couple of things that I do. One is the 9 angles of your face, right? So you've got your face straight on like this. You've got straight on but up, straight on but down. So that's 3, right? Then you've got to the left and right. So you've got middle, up and down. This side, up, middle, down. And what I want you to do before you start taking your headshots is look in a mirror and literally do those 9 positions and see which is your best angle. I usually will do the part side. So if someone's part is on one side or the other, I start there because that's typically the best side. But then, you know, you look at up or down or middle, which is the best angle for their face. So definitely do the 9 angles and see which one is your favorite. A couple other little things to note. If you've had photos with me before, you will know that I always say push your chin forward like a chicken, just like this. It feels really silly. You know, you want to look at how it affects your neck. If you're pushing it too far, your neck's going to strain. If it's too far back, your chin's going to stick out. So you just practice that in the mirror, push your chin forward. And for women, I usually say chin down because it's more feminine. For men, chin up. So just try it in the mirror, see what works for you. There's lots of options there. All right, so the girls over here are cracking me up, by the way. So I'm sorry if I start busting out laughing. They're doing the Vogue. Okay, so last thing to think about in your, well, there's two more things. So one of the things that I always tell people in their headshots is hold your arms out like you're holding a platter. Now, can you see my arms in the video? Because I can't see myself. Okay, so when you bring your arms here, the first thing everybody does is they put them out like this. That's not what I'm looking for. So what I want is like glue those elbows all the way in, but make sure you don't raise your shoulders. You want your shoulders to be down and you're holding that platter. Now here's why. If you look at your arm, and do this in the mirror so you can see yourself, when your arm is down and flat like this, everything's just blah, right? It's just all there and it's blah, gross. But if you bring your arm out, look what happens to your shoulder. It rounds everything out and it's just a much more flattering look for your shoulders. You can also do a little turn to the side, one side or the other. That's also a great way to, you know, if you think about how much space I'm taking up on the screen this way versus how much I'm taking up when I move to 45 degrees. You can also lean your front shoulder down. Sometimes that helps if you want to look slimmer. Sometimes people want to look slimmer, like I want to look slimmer. I want to just be slimmer. How about that? And then the other thing to think about too is make your face, you want it to be natural. So don't, you know, the cheesy smile, or I'm just going to show my teeth because I feel like that's a smile. I want to make sure, like, show your personality, because that's what people want to see in your headshot. They want to know who you are. If you're a very inviting and warm person, even leaning forward some, just that lean forward gives the body language of I'm paying attention to you. I'm listening to you. I know what you're saying. And it's a very approachable type look. If you're more standoffish and, you know, you are the boss, or you want to be the boss, then maybe, you know, an arm cross might be the right look for you, especially for men. You know, sometimes men, the hands like this is a power position. So maybe the hands like this for men. Just, you know, you can Google body language, and so body language for bosses or whatever you want to Google. Just, you know, look at different body language positions, and then make sure that you're doing that in your headshot as well. And the last one is, you know, when we smile, our eyes tend to squint. So make sure you're keeping your eyes open. A good way to do that is if you pull your chin down just a little bit, then your eyes have to come up to meet where the camera is, and that will open your eyes a little bit more. So that's just a little trick there too. And another one, I don't know if I can do it without being able to see myself, but if you kind of squint your eyes a little bit, we call it a squinch. And I always tell people, just imagine if you're blowing air out of your tear duct. I know that sounds really weird, but look in the mirror and try it, and you're going to see what I'm talking about. It just gives a little sparkle in your eyes. So if you've ever heard me say smile with your eyes, that's what I'm talking about. Sometimes I'll tell people, I want you to look in the mirror like you're looking at your mom, or look in the mirror like you're looking at your child. You know, you just love them so much and you just want to eat them up. Or if you know, if it's younger kids, sometimes I'll say, just imagine that cute boy just walked in the room, and you know, what would your eyes look like? Because people's eyes just light up when they see people they love. So anyway, those are some tips on posing. The last thing I want to talk about is getting prepared for your session. You know, make sure that your jewelry is polished. Make sure that you're getting your facials, you're getting your nails done, you know, all that stuff. In a headshot, it's not going to show as much, but if you're doing a branding session, then that's super important. But pay attention to what your jewelry is. You know, if you're wearing a necklace, make sure that it's straight, make sure that it's clean and polished. If you're wearing earrings, make sure that they look good, that they show. You know, make sure your hair is in the right place so that your earrings have the maximum effect. Also, if you're going to get a facial, don't do it like the day before. At least do it like 3 or 4 days in advance, so that if there's any swelling or redness from getting your facial, that it has time to settle down. Let's see. I think that was all that I wanted to talk about today. I do have a little trivia. I try to do some kind of trivia every week, and I should have mentioned it at the beginning because I'm about to give you the answer. But the trivia for today is that today is the anniversary of when Babe Ruth retired. So he retired in 1935 on June 2nd. He had 714 home runs. He played for 22 seasons, and he appeared in 10 World Series. So that is your fun fact for today. As a baseball mom and wife, that's your baseball tip for today too. So enjoy. I hope everybody has a great day. I tried to keep it under 15 minutes, and I hope I did. Whew. Okay. All right. Bye.
Bye.